So check this out. There's no Winter NAMM show this year, but there's a whole bunch of new NAMM introductions, particularly from Martin Guitars. We've got new SC models we're going to tell you all about, so stick around. Hey, you're watching Alamo Music TV. My name is Chris McKee.
And I'm Cooper Greenberg.
We're here with Alamo Music Center in San Antonio, Texas. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, like our videos. If you'd like to support the channel, visit our Teespring store for our custom designed t-shirts, or check out Cooper's OnlyFans. So, that's a joke. You don't really have one, right? Guitar lessons on there?
Yeah, dude, it's like a whole, that's podcast material, so it's all good.
We do have a podcast coming out, so stay tuned for that. We're recording episodes now. So, exciting news from Martin Guitars, and that is they are expanding upon the SC body shape that I'm a huge fan of.
It's about time.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, think of the timing of it. When this guitar was introduced, it was at a NAMM show, and it was a surprise then.
How long has it been?
It seems like a lifetime ago, but no, honestly, that was January of 2020 that this guitar was introduced at the NAMM show, and I remember specifically because that was the last NAMM show I got to go to.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the pandemic hit, but we were super excited, and I said, and I stand by this, that this was one of the most important introductions from Martin in the last 20 or 30 years, maybe even longer. Particularly because it's such a divergence from their typical process and design philosophy. For one thing, it's got a bolt-on neck.
Got a bolt-on neck. I don't even know what that is.
It's wood grain, Cooper.
Yeah.
It's bookmatch wood grain. But yeah, there's bolts. The neck uses what's called a linear dovetail neck joint. It slides into place. The neck angle is adjustable. And in fact, here's what's shocking to me. A lot of Martin and Taylor fans would bicker on the internet, right? Go back and forth about, like, you know, bolt-on versus glued-in neck joint, one being better than the other. They're both great. This one is actually more adjustable than a Taylor neck joint.
If you've ever looked inside one of these, you know for sure, but it's like a whole system.
Yeah, you loosen it, you pop out a shim, you put another shim in. The way it slides into place, it's pretty great. Now, the only thing I had to say about it was I want a standard model. And unfortunately, I'm going to tell you, I'm still waiting for that standard model. Okay, so the new introduction basically expands this line a little bit. So this is the SC-13e, and it's a solid spruce top. It's got unique bracing to it with this S body shape, this offset body shape. This neck joint we just talked about, and the back and sides are layered using a fine veneer of koa wood on this guitar. The first introduction that we're going to have, or the first model they're coming out with, is basically a slightly stripped down version of this called the SC-10e. And so that sits a little bit lower in the Road Series collection, a little bit more affordable price point, and effectively it's very similar to this guitar, but not glossy. They're kind of getting rid of the gloss shape to just satin.
I think that's cool. I mean, again, a lot of people like one over the other. I think this guitar has been really attractive for a lot of people, that it might be a little bit out of their price range, so it's cool to have something a little more, you know, accessible like that in the 10 Road Series. But like you, I'd love to see a little kicked up version. We can talk about that in a bit.
Yeah, I want to see an all solid wood version at some point. So the
back and sides wood on the 10.
It's the same.
It's going to be layered koa.
It's going to be layered koa or acacia. I think they may have said koa is acacia, so it's going to be a very similar appearance to this. It'll have some figure, but it won't be glossed. Some of the figure might not be as apparent because of that, because the gloss kind of tends to make it pop, particularly when there's some good flame in there. But very, very similar to this guitar, just, you know, a slightly lower price point with a satin finish, and I think a lot of people are going to like that. The next two versions are variations of this guitar. So they're SC-13es Specials. And the first one changes the fine veneer on the back and sides to Zidcote, or Zidcote. I say Zidcote because I believe that's how you pronounce it.
I say Zero Cody.
But if you aren't familiar with that, I'm a huge fan of that. It is from southern Mexico and Central America. Beautiful and it's just a beautiful wood. The grain looks almost three-dimensional. It looks like it's just pieces of wood layered on top of one another.
It's unreal. Like some of the stuff we've seen, even on Martins, but you know, Taylors and everybody that uses it, it's pretty unique every time is really cool.
Yeah, and I've never seen an ugly piece of it.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely gorgeous wood. So that will be the first special iteration, and then they're doing a burst version of it. So again, it's going to be pretty much identical to this guitar, except for that the veneer being used for the back and sides is zircote or zircote, and the top has a burst to it, which works really well with the darker back and side wood that's being used. And otherwise, and they're also switching out the pickup system. So instead of the Fishman on the higher end special ones, you're going to be going to an LR Baggs Element, which they're calling an upgrade, and I would humbly agree.
Yeah,
so so it's a little bit of a price bump to go from the SC-13e to the Special, and then a bit more of a price bump. I think it's right at $2,000 now to get the Special Burst.
I think they're going to be super popular because people enjoy the guitar for the feel and the sound and the look. I think, and I don't know if people would agree, the one thing on this guitar that I go back and forth on that it's not my favorite is the blue and white on the rosette, and on the Specials, it's like a gray and white.
Well, it's actually zircote.
Really?
Yeah, so they're inlaying
I did not notice that
wood
in the photos.
in there
well, I think
with like a pearl.
I think that's a very cool upgrade, just because almost with the blue and white and the visible bracing in the back, it looks a little nautical to me. It looks sailor-esque. Look at that.
Yeah.
It's like a sea island.
Sailor Moon-esque.
Yeah, and it's just a personal thing. I know a lot of people really love the blue. It does look sharp, and it's modern, just like the modern aspect.
Why you got to be a hater on sailors, man?
I'm not a sailor guy, all right?
We love our Navy people.
Unless we're talking Sailor's Guide to Earth by Sturgill Simpson, then I'm all for it. But I do like the change in the rosette, and I think it's going to be cool. And I mean, I'm just looking forward to it. I think people wanted something a little nicer, wanted something a little cheaper too. But I want a standard model.
I want a standard model, and you know what's happened with this change with the SC-10e specifically. I just want to call out Martin for their naming system. Is when it came out, the SC-13e. My understanding was because of the body shape, is the S body shape. It's got a cutaway. 13 was because it has the neck mounting to the body at the 13th fret instead of the 12th or the 14th, kind of an in-betweener. But in their series, they also have a 13 series, which it occupies the space for. And I was really like, it really just needs to be about the 13 series and not about the fret joint. And it seems that they've agreed, because now it's the SC-10, and so maybe soon we'll have an SC-16 or an SC-28.
Here's what I want to hear. And I want you, because you can't name several, I'm just going to ask you. So think about all the numbered series. What's your ideal SC standard series?
SC-28. An SC-28e. Yeah.
But what about
what do you want?
An SC-15M?
That would be cool.
That would be
all
cool.
Satin, all mahogany, with this body shape.
And tortoiseshell rosette.
And honestly, I want that personally, but I think a 15 series S model would sell like hotcakes.
Yeah.
And hotcakes evidently sell a lot because that's
all
a
over the
phrase
place.
of speech.
No, I really do think that maybe...
Also known as pancakes and flapjacks for people in the Midwest and elsewhere.
I'm a Johnny Cakes man, all right? Sopranos style. Yeah, I think that if supply opens up, because obviously many people are probably telling them the same thing. They want to see 15 and 18 and
Well, here's
28.
my thought. I think the neck joint could be problematic with an all-solid wood guitar. So no one's asking me at Martin how to build these things, okay? But here's what I would suggest, is you can do the neck joint portion laminate so that it has the strength in it. You can bend it, and then do the rest with solid wood. And that's a fine building practice on high-end guitars. There's individual luthiers that will use mixed materials like that, and then give us this solid wood for the rest of it like we're wanting.
Do you think that a set neck makes it not an SC-13 anymore?
Yeah, I think the way that they designed this neck was, I mean, they've really marketed it as like a performer's guitar. You know, it's got a very fast neck. You're going to be able to go up on stage and play with it and kind of shred with it. If you're coming from electric guitar, you're going to feel comfortable with it. And I think part of that is the way they have this neck joint on the back of the body where it's got that curvature to it, but also the fact that you can really dial in the neck angle.
Yeah.
You know, for people who on the internet criticized Taylor for years about having a bolt-on neck, and then they went even further to the NT neck system that they have, the whole benefit of that is that you can more accurately dial in the angle of the neck when you're building the guitar, and then later on it's easier to also service. At Martin, they are aware of this, because if you work on the line and you're hand fitting mortise tenon or dovetail neck joints on a guitar, you have to have a lot of experience.
Yeah.
They don't just like, hey, you've been here a week, go attach a neck to a guitar body, because if you get that angle wrong,
Yeah. You're done.
Yeah, it's really hard to fix. And I will say, thankfully, over the years, I can think of one Martin that's come in, and it was like a SM-15. It was a 12 fret 15 series. What was that?
0015
SM.
Yeah.
Had the wrong neck angle, and they fixed it under warranty.
That's good.
You know, but that's precise. With this, it's adjustable. And that means that you can really dial it in for that, what they're calling, you know, that fast playability. If it's too great and you're getting fret buzz, you can change the shim out and whatnot. Granted, the guitar should be humidified correctly before you make any changes.
Yeah. That's
my little disclaimer there. But so yeah, I think they need to stick with this linear bolt-on dovetail neck joint. Do whatever they need to do to make sure that they can get that carve, you know, and then give us an all solid wood version.
Yeah.
But for the meantime, I love that they're expanding it.
Yeah.
I think the SC-10e is going to find its way into the hands of a lot of very excited players, and these specials are just beautiful.
Yeah, they look really nice.
So.
Yeah, I think it's a nice little teaser for what I assume is to come with this line.
Well, it's been incredibly popular. We have sold.
We cannot.
I'm going to go out on a limb. I think we have sold more SC-13es than any other model of Martin we've ever stocked.
We get calls for them every day. I mean, it's crazy the amount of people, they see a video, they see somebody playing one, and they're interested, but then they play them, and they're so comfortable that it's like, if you have the means, it's almost a no-brainer to put one in the collection. I mean, just this alone, going up to the higher frets,
it's comfortable,
so nice.
And the bracing that they've done, so the offset body allows bracing that really helps accentuate. It's asymmetrical, and the bass kind of moves a little bit more. It's cool stuff. Do more of it, Martin. And thank you for coming out with a few more models this year to appease our appetites, as they say. Now, we are doing this video right now. They just got kind of announced. So if you're interested in these, where do they go, Cooper? Where did they go?
You're going to want to go to alamomusic.com. All right, you're going to want to go on there, because as soon as we know when they're coming in, they might be up for pre-order. They might be up already available to purchase. But we are, as we promise, always going to get as many as we can get our hands on, because we know they're all going to go super fast. But
so let me give you my 2022 spiel here. There are certain manufacturers, well, all manufacturers that we deal with are pretty much dealing with back order situations. Okay, 2022 is going to be as bad or worse than 2021 was. So if you see something, you need to kind of act on it. If you wait, you can put in an order, and here's what my instructions would be to you, whether you're buying from us or elsewhere. These are just my kindly instructions to you. If you're wanting something, order it. Order it from us, order it from whatever dealer you typically deal with, because you have to get in line. If they don't have it in stock, you'll just need to get in line. If you're going to be waiting until it comes into stock, if someone else doesn't get in line ahead of you and they actually get it available, it will probably sell before you get a chance. So that's pretty good advice. We've just, from the last year of dealing with customers trying to get guitars, this would be my advice to you. So if you're wanting a special or a 10 or the regular SC-13e or anything else from Martin or many other manufacturers, put the money down, as they say.
Yeah, put the money down. The good thing is that we can tell you is that it's not a question of if, hopefully we're going to get them.
It's just when.
It's when. Yeah. So we are going to have them. I know that in the past we've seen really cool things from NAMM, and then it's like the next year, you know, but luckily we have confirmation that they're on their way.
Well, so. NAMM has, historically we joke, it stands for not available maybe May.
Yeah.
So not available maybe May 2023. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, hopefully you understand that that bit of instruction and take it for what it is. So.
Yeah, and of course when we get them, we're going to do a full demo. You're going to be able to hear them.
Even if someone already paid for them.
Yeah.
So, Anyways, but if you want to make sure that you watch those demos, you should subscribe to the channel. Subscribe, turn on notifications, like the videos, and comment below if you've already played an SC-13e. And if you want to see one of these in the standard lineup like the game we just played, tell us what you would like to see. An SC-18? Mahogany back and sides, that could be pretty cool.
SC-17 Whiskey Sunburst.
Ooh.
With the Ovencall top.
Or black smoke finish could be cool. Oh. There's some great options.
SC-41.
That would be ornate. Like, we'll take the blue and put it everywhere. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, let us know below. And remember, keep coming back and watching these videos. The best guitar in the world is the one that you're playing. There's only so many available right now. So if you're needing one, get in line, we'll get them to you. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.